You need to hear this. 3 wheat pennies worth over $390,000 hidden in circulation right now, because what I'm about to show you is not hype, it's not fiction. This is real money hiding in your pocket. This is the 1935 wheat penny, and if you've ever seen one with a dark, almost dirty look, black spots, worn like it's been through decades of life, you might have already touched a silent fortune and didn't even realize it. This coin is dangerous to ignore. People are literally spending this every single day like it's nothing, when in reality, this one small detail turns it into serious money. We're talking collectors quietly fighting over this coin behind the scenes. This is hidden wealth. This is quiet power. And if you have it, you are holding something that can change everything. Stay with me, because this exact detail, is what separates a 1-cent coin from a life-changing opportunity. Now imagine it's 1935 America is still feeling the weight of the Great Depression. Money is tight, people are struggling, and the US Mint is under pressure to produce coins fast, efficiently, and cheaply. That pressure created mistakes, inconsistencies, and stress in the minting process, and that's exactly where rare coins are born. The San Francisco Mint, marked by that small but powerful S under the date, was producing fewer coins compared to Philadelphia. Lower mintage, higher pressure, rough handling, all of that combined into something collectors today are obsessed with. Now look closely at this 1935 wheat penny. The front shows Abraham Lincoln's portrait, worn, slightly faded, but still holding that strong profile. Around him, the words, "In God We Trust," across the top, "Liberty" to the side, and the date, 1935, with that tiny S mint mark just below. But here's where it gets serious, the surface. That dark brown, almost black tone, those uneven black spots across the obverse and reverse, most people think that's damage. Most people think that's dirt. And that's exactly why they lose money. Because collectors, they see something completely different. They see originality. They see untouched history. They see a coin that has survived decades without being cleaned, without being stripped of its natural surface. That dark toning, those black spots, that's the fingerprint of time. And in the collector world, original surfaces like that are everything. This is where people mess up. They try to clean the coin to make it look shiny again. And the moment they do that, the value collapses. Completely destroyed. Gone. That silent fortune wiped out in seconds. Do not spend this coin, and never, ever clean it. Now physically, this coin feels small, but it carries weight, not just emotionally, but literally. It comes in at about 3.11 grams, made from 95% copper with a mix of tin and zinc. The diameter is 19 millimeters thin, about 1.5 millimeters thick. But don't let that fool you. This tiny piece of metal has survived nearly a century. Wars, economic crashes, generations of hands. And somehow, some of them made it through in fine condition. That's rare. That's where the money is. Flip it over, and you see the wheat stalks on both sides, framing the words 1 cent and United States of America. This is the classic wheat design, simple but powerful. And again, that dark toning, those black patches, they tell a story. A story collectors are willing to pay for, quietly, aggressively, sometimes without even blinking. Because here's what most people don't realize. Survival is rare. Not just any 1935 penny, but one that hasn't been cleaned, hasn't been damaged beyond recognition, still holding that original skin. That's what drives demand. And right now, demand is rising while supply is shrinking. Collectors are not selling these. They're holding them, locking them away, waiting. And when one shows up, the bidding gets quiet, but intense. This is not loud, public hype. This is controlled, serious money moving behind the scenes. Because everyone in that room knows this coin is special. Today, a 1935 wheat penny in fine condition with that original dark look and natural spotting can reach up to $160 hundredth. Let that sink in. 1 cent turned into a hidden treasure worth serious money. This is not a joke. This is not exaggeration. This is happening. So before you ignore another old penny, before you toss it aside or spend it without thinking, check the date. Look for that S, study the surface. That ugly, dark spotted coin? That might be the one. That might be the moment your pocket turns into a silent fortune. And listen carefully, because what comes next, the next coin, is even rarer, even more shocking, and even more dangerous to ignore. This next one, people are spending it right now, and they have no idea they're giving away something even bigger. Stay with me. You thought the last coin was shocking, then listen very carefully, because this one is even more dangerous to ignore. The 1958 wheat penny, it looks ordinary, it feels ordinary, and that's exactly why people are losing serious money every single day. That rusty red-brown surface, those strange green spots on the front and back, most people see damage. Collectors see something completely different. They see a silent fortune hiding in plain sight. And if you've ever tossed one of these aside or spent it without checking, you might have already let a life-changing opportunity slip right through your fingers. Now step into 1958 for a second. This was the final year of the wheat penny design, before everything changed in 1959, the US. Mint was preparing for a transition. Pressure was building, production was high, and Philadelphia, where coins have no mint mark, was pushing out massive numbers. But here's the twist. When a design is about to end, something strange happens. Collectors start paying attention. Variations, surface originality, and conditions suddenly matter more than ever. And that's exactly what turned certain 1958 pennies into hidden treasure coins. Look at the front of this coin. Abraham Lincoln's portrait is still there, but in very fine condition. You'll notice sharper details, the outline of his coat, the hair definition still holding strong. The word liberty is clear. The date 1958 stands bold. This exact combination of condition, surface, and originality is anything but common. Now here's where people make the biggest mistake of their lives. That red-brown color, mixed with rusty tones, and those green spots scattered across the surface. People panic when they see that. They think it's corrosion. They think it's damage. They think it needs to be cleaned. And the moment they clean it, they destroy everything. That green spotting, that's oxidation from the copper alloy. That red-brown tone, that's natural aging. Decades of chemical reactions that create a completely unique surface. Collectors don't run from that, they chase it. Because it proves the coin hasn't been messed with. It proves originality. And originality is where the money lives. Do not spend this coin, and never clean it. Not even a little. This coin is made from 95% copper with small amounts of tin and zinc, weighing about 3.11 grams. It's 19 millimeters wide, about 1.5 millimeters thick. Small, simple, easy to ignore. But that's the trap. This tiny piece of metal carries decades of untouched history, and in very fine condition, it still holds enough detail to separate it from the millions that were worn down or destroyed. Flip it over, and you see those iconic wheat stalks on both sides, framing 1 cent and United States of America. But again, look at the surface. The same red-brown tone, mixed with those green patches. Uneven. Raw. Real. This is not a polished coin. This is not a perfect coin. And that's exactly why it can be worth serious money. Because survival like this is rare. Most of these coins were spent, abused, cleaned, or lost. The ones that remain in very fine condition, with original toning and no harsh cleaning, those are the ones collectors are hunting. And right now, demand is rising fast. Quietly. Aggressively. Collectors are not talking about this publicly, but behind the scenes, they're competing for coins exactly like this. You won't see loud auctions or flashy headlines. What you'll see is controlled bidding, sharp eyes, and people who know exactly what they're looking at. Because this is not just a penny. This is hidden wealth. This is a silent build-up of value that most people will never understand until it's too late. Today, this 1,958 wheat penny in very fine condition with that original red-brown surface and natural green spotting can reach up to $130. That's not pocket change. That's life-changing wealth hiding in something people ignore every day. So the next time you see a 1,958 penny, don't rush. Don't assume. Check the surface. Look for that original color. Notice the spots. That imperfect coin might be the one collectors are fighting for. That might be the moment everything changes. And stay with me, because the next coin, the final one, is on a completely different level. Rarer. More shocking. And the detail on that coin? It's so easy to miss. But once you see it, you'll never look at pennies the same way again. Before you relax and think you've seen it all, you haven't. Because this coin right here, the 1,941 wheat penny with no mint mark, is one of the most dangerous hidden treasures still slipping through people's hands every single day. It looks old, dark, worn, rusty brown, with black spots all over the front and back. The kind of coin people don't even hesitate to spend. And that's the problem, because this exact coin, in the right condition, with the right untouched surface, is not just a penny. It's a silent fortune. It's serious money. It's the kind of coin collectors quietly fight over while everyone else ignores it. And if you've ever had one of these and didn't check it closely, you might have already lost something that could have changed everything. Now go back to 1941. The world is on edge. The United States is on the brink of entering World War II. Industrial pressure is rising, materials are becoming critical, and the US Mint is pushing production harder than ever. Philadelphia, which produces coins without a mint mark, is striking massive numbers, but under pressure, under stress, and with less attention to perfection. And that's where the story begins. Because when you combine high output, pre-war tension, and metal supply concerns, you create coins that age differently, survive differently, and in rare cases, become something collectors can't ignore. Look at the front of this 1,941 wheat penny. Abraham Lincoln's portrait is still strong, especially in extra-fine condition. You can see the detail in his hair, the curve of his jawline, the structure of his coat. In God We Trust still stretches across the top. Liberty stands firm to the side, and the date 1941 cites clearly, with no mint mark beneath it. That absence, that Philadelphia origin, is part of what makes this coin so quietly powerful. But here's where everything changes. That dark, almost shadowy surface, that rusty brown tone mixed with deep black spotting across both the obverse and reverse. Most people think that's damage. They think it's ugly. They think it's worthless. Collectors see untouched history. That surface tells a story that hasn't been erased. No cleaning. No polishing. No interference. just decades of natural aging. And that is exactly what serious collectors want. Because once a coin is cleaned, even slightly, its value can collapse instantly. That original toning, those black spots, that uneven color, that's the evidence that the coin is real, raw, and untouched. Do not spend this coin, and never clean it, not under any circumstances. This coin is struck from 95% copper, with tin and zinc blended in, weighing about 3.11 grams. It measures 19 millimeters across, with a thickness around 1.5 millimeters. It's small, easy to overlook, easy to dismiss. But holding it, you're holding a piece of pre-war America, a coin that existed before everything changed. And in extra fine condition, it still carries enough sharpness to separate it from the millions that were worn down, destroyed, or altered beyond recognition. Turn it over, and those wheat stalks frame the words 1 cent and United States of America. Simple design. Classic. But again, it's the surface that matters. That deep brown color, those black patches, that slightly rough texture. It's not perfect. And that's exactly why it can be worth a fortune. Because perfect coins are common. Original coins are rare. And surviving in extra fine condition with that natural look, that's where the real scarcity lives. Most coins from 1941 were heavily circulated during wartime. They were used, exchanged, handled constantly. Finding one that still holds detail, still holds its original skin, that's rare. That's what drives collectors into quiet competition. And make no mistake, the demand is real. Collectors are holding these coins, not selling them. Supply is shrinking. Every year, fewer of these untouched examples remain. And when one shows up on the market, the bidding isn't loud. It's controlled, focused, aggressive in silence, because the people in that room know exactly what they're looking at. This is not just a coin. This is hidden wealth. This is a silent fortune, sitting in drawers, jars, and pockets across the country, being spent by people who have no idea what they're giving away. Today, a 1941 wheat penny with no mint mark, in extra fine condition with that original dark, rusty brown tone and black spotting, can reach up to $154. Seeth, let that hit you. 1 cent, turning into life-changing money. This is not hype. This is not a guess. This is happening. So slow down. Check your coins. Look at the dates. Study the surface. That dark spotted penny you almost ignored? That could be the one. That could be your silent fortune waiting to be discovered. And remember this, there are still more coins out there, even rarer, even more shocking, coins that people are spending right now without a second thought. The next one you find might be even bigger than all of these.